Good evening, and welcome back to Animals in the Law. Is your dog a sofa? Now, I didn't ask if your dog was on the sofa. If you have a dog, your dog is probably on the sofa. I asked, is your dog a sofa? Is your cat a love seat? Your horse a VW bug? The Wisconsin Supreme Court has actually answered that question. Justice Bablich, back in 2001, states, "We are uncomfortable with the law's cold characterization of a dog as mere property. Labeling a dog property fails to describe the value human beings place on the companionship that they enjoy with a dog. A companion dog is not a living room sofa." Hopeful words from the Wisconsin Supreme Court. However, the end result of this case and every other case that addresses the value of companion animals ends up with the finding that they are merely property. In fact, they are no more important in civil cases than a sofa, a love seat, or a VW bus. Have you ever gone into a furniture warehouse and seen the sofas stacked one on top of another in a cold, drafty warehouse, or perhaps a very hot, stifling building in the heat of the summer? Very little light, very poor ventilation, certainly no human contact other than when someone comes along with a forklift and lifts one out in order to sell it to someone. Imagine, instead of sofas stacked one on top of another in a long, dimly lit building, either freezing cold or burning hot, instead of a sofa, imagine a dog. Imagine hundreds of dogs with wire cages, wire bottoms, so they are then essentially urinating on the dog underneath them and the dog underneath that dog. No human contact other than when someone comes and throws some food into their bowl. That's a puppy mill. And there is a law pending in Wisconsin now to outlaw that sort of operation. 2009 Assembly Bill 250 was introduced on April 30th. I'm concerned that this bill that has been, or a bill like it, which has been introduced several times over the last 10 years, will not survive the budget crunch that Rick alluded to earlier. In order to enforce this law, we're going to need to hire people to respond to complaints and to perform the licensing activities that are required by the law. The bill proposes hiring 6 full-time employees in order to address the problems caused by puppy mills in Wisconsin. A month ago or so, Newsweek named Wisconsin one of the 3 worst states in the country with regard to the number of puppies coming out of puppy mills. Please find out if your assembly person or senator is a co-sponsor or supporter of this important piece of legislation. If they are, call and say thank you. They're going to be getting a lot of phone calls from the American Kennel Club and even the National Rifle Association, who team together all over the country to defeat legislation like this. Currently, that team of individuals, organizations have brought a lawsuit against the state of Pennsylvania, challenging their state's recent puppy mill law, claiming, what else, that it deprives them of their property under the U.S. Constitution, because after all, a dog is only a sofa.